Barakati Awa, Barakati Awashai, Barakati Awa, Barakati Awashai, Barakati Awa, Barakata Yawashai. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yawashai, Bashem Rakakwadash. God belongs to bosses, and that is a greatness doing. Peace and salutation to you, beloved Akim, that's pushing his word in sincerity and truth, with humiliation all across the four winds. To you, I salute. Salakia. This is the brother Desire one about to do another lesson through spirit power of Yahweh Shai. If you would see, when they pass these boards, you will see red posters, right? Because pretty much, this country's getting up for election, and in these times, I would pretty much call these crazy times. Crazy times. Tempests be flaring, people is be, on another level of wickedness, on another level of wickedness, both sides, and people don't understand these politics only divide our people. They only divide people, friends, family, husband and wife, brother and sister, that's all politics does, and our people can't see that, all right, because they blinded by this type of time, all right, they blinded, all right, and they trust wholeheartedly in these politicians. At the end of the day, when they mad with they family, with their friends and family, when they mad with their friends and family, these politicians, both parties could go to each other's houses and eating and drinking together while you mad. That's how it always been. But our people can't see that. You know why? They blind. You see? Or they blinded by emotions. That's all politics does, is divide people. And it's getting worse with our people. Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, this be the last. This be the last going into the MOTP. Because whoever party comes into play, they got to deal with inflation, famine, pestilence, and the prophecies that come in these perilous evil times. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse in these times. Okay, but our people, all right, they trusting in the staff of this broken reed. All right, they trusting in Egypt. All right, the shadow of Egypt, and that's why this whole system is gonna fail a lot of these people. We ain't supposed to vote. We ain't supposed to vote. You see? All right. Look at the corruption that's happening. All right, but our people, they love this kind of shit. They down with it. You see? They lost in the sauce, pretty much. And that's how a lot of them is going to get taken. They ain't care to know what's happening in the East, what affects them. Look at this. Look at the things what happened pertaining to prophecy. How worse it's getting. You weren't with politicians. All right, they can make it. All right, they getting enough money. All right, our people suffering. They're so ignorant, getting mad with one another over shit in this crazy time. When you vote, you vowing to God. All right, that you trusting in your leaders. The fight against Yahweh Shai. That's what it's about. All right, because this whole system is gonna be against Yahweh Shai. So you voting you down with that. You voting down against the Lord. You don't want him to rule over you. You see? These is crazy, crazy times. You see? And it's only gonna get worse, regardless of whoever party coming next or get voted in. We don't care. We ain't got no horse in the race. Whoever fulfilling prophecy, that's what we down with. Pushing prophecies. All right, that's who the Lord is gonna put back in here. All right, we see the situation with the immigrants, with the Levites, and just so to speak, if you see the present party get back in, with this whole situation, with the immigrants and with these Levites, hey, it'll be a perfect condition set up for sedition, chaos, uproars, because then what happen is these Levites, you know, they can feel they have rights, more rights than the actual citizens. You know? So you would hear this Levite minister say, man, we pay more for healthcare or something like that. We're saying along those lines. Alright? They can feel they have more rights in the coming time if you see the present government get elected and back in. Alright? But hey, at the end of the day, it's still beautiful. Because, hey, prophecies have to come. You know? Prophecies have to come. I don't care about who over in the politics. You know? At the end of the day, prophecies have to come to pass. At the end of the day. Alright, so like I say, this is crazy time for us. We continue to remain circumspect and watching well as pray. You know, and not get involved in these damn formality. You know? We ain't like these people. Alright? We can trust in our power. Alright? Because what people can do when the evil shall come, they ain't gonna do nothing but continue to trust in who they voted for. And that's what's gonna fail them. Alright? But we can continue to trust in our power. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But yeah, man, I just want to bring out the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Like I said, these are crazy time. Politics. Yeah, man, shalom.